Hi Sagittarius, welcome to Magpie Moonchild. My name is Kayleigh. This is a, oh, page of coins just popped out. A little bit of groundwork needs focusing on. Some project needs focusing and work on. Proper commitment to it. At the moment you're not putting the proper commitment in. Anyway, this is the yourself probably. You're not looking after yourself properly. You're not putting the work in on yourself, and you need to. But just stop popping. I need the weekly message. Let me get this out. So yeah, this is the weekly read for Sagittarius for the week ahead. All the normal gump is down below. This is just a reading to see what energies are coming in for you this week. But yeah, absolutely work on yourself this week, because you're not putting enough self-care in. Your needs, you're not getting your needs, and you're it's causing anxiety, and you're not believing in yourself. You don't believe that you're capable of doing something, and you need to work on yourself to do that. You need to commit to yourself, Sagittarius. Anyway, let's get the weekly read for you for this week. Can I have a read for Sagittarius, please? Ace of Coins. So yeah, a property or investment coming up. Potential. Pit and Anarchist also just flicked on the bottom. They weren't the cards that were supposed to come up, but they're there. So don't find yourself going anarchy. Being dragged down with the Anarchists. There's a time to fight and there's a time to dig in, and this is the time to dig in, not necessarily go forward and fight. Anyway, the Ace of Coins is an opportunity, an investment opportunity, or a new stage in a relationship, or buying a house to invest in. Yeah, Four of Wands. There you go, a new home to invest in, or an opportunity to come up for a place of stability. Whether that's the place that you're going to end up in forever, possibly. This could also be a relationship to invest in. You've got the Ten of Cups come up. If it's a business, it's going to be quite a stable business. It's going to bring you a lot of joy and contentment. Whether that brings you a lot of financial, it will give you what you need to live comfortably. You're not going to get mega rich from it. If this is a house, it's a place to put down roots, to start building that happily ever after kind of vibe to it. You may eventually move forward to somewhere else, but your time in this house is going to be quite it's going to be a very happy, emotional, fulfilling time. It could also be a house that you're moving to for your own fulfillment at the end of a relationship. If this is the end of a relationship, the house that you're going to move to, even though you're on your own, you're going to be happy there. I think you see it as temporary, but I don't think it's necessarily going to be temporary. And you're not always going to be on your own. What else have we got? Or at least you'll put an offer in on a house and it will be successful. Whether that's to rent or to buy, by the way, you will be successful when you apply for that. Two of Wands. So you can start to rebuild your future. You can envision a future there and start working towards it. You're going to have plans for what you're going to do in this space, and because you're in such a content place, you can start moving forward with it. Or it's a temporary job. It's a temporary job that you take up that will have, there are prospects moving forward that you can progress, whether that's within the, I'm not getting necessarily that it's within that company, but it opens up doors to other opportunities that progress you to where you want to be. Knight of Swords. So yeah, being communicative. Don't be too aggressive. Move it like you need to stand your ground. If this is to do with buying a house, you need to stand your ground. Make sure the litigation is completed thoroughly, that no corners are cut. The same with a job. Whatever you're doing, don't get argumentative. Make sure that you're not cutting corners. Make sure that it's all in a good place and in order. That the legalities are followed. Yeah, see, there's another opportunity for Page of Wands is the innocent. It's inspiring you. Whatever this home is, it'll either inspire you to get creative within the home, do creative projects within it, as in DIY projects, or you can see a vision to expand it. Things that aren't going to necessarily happen immediately for you, but there is opportunity, whether that's progression, creative progression through this career, or if it's a relationship. I'll get to the relationship one in a minute because I'm not necessarily getting ready. But the house, you'll be able to do things to it, build things to it. Things bring out old features, but in a new way if it's an old house. And yeah, you've got this clear vision of where you want to go, and it will bring in joy to you eventually. If you look, you've got the 2 wands there. This is where you are right now, this 2 of wands energy. Like, there is a vision for the future. You just have to kind of get that 3rd wand, get closer to it. It will come to it, but you're kind of waiting for that to come in. You're putting in the work, and it will come back in eventually. It's waiting for your ships to come in normally, but this is in the desert. So but yeah, if that's a relationship, I think it's gonna make, yes, you happy. It feels like a temporary relationship rather than a permanent one. Like, you can see it going somewhere, and the sex is, I don't think the sex is even going to play up to what you think it should be. And it's kind of like, oh, I saw this going somewhere, and you're kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop, the sign that it is where you're supposed to be. Yeah, sorry, these are just flipping around all over the place. I'm not getting a heavy relationship read, if I'm completely honest, which is a relief for Sagittarius, because I'm sick of hearing that they're in love with a Cancer. Which is, if that's your storyline, that's fair enough. It's just every read for the last sort of 6 months, a year, has been Sagittarius in love with someone, and not making moves towards that. What I'm getting is this is to do with a house move, and yes, it's or a job move. I'm getting that it's going to be temporary. Don't get me wrong, you're going to be really happy there, and it's totally going to lead to where it is you're supposed to be career wise. But again, don't be too rash. Put the study in, put the work in, make sure you're covering all the legalities, do not cut corners. Keep the drive, keep the focus, because I'm getting that you'll be very passionate but quite unfocused with that passion. You need to focus that passion, and it will bring in the rewards going forward from there. And again, with the house, you have the opportunity to do things to it, to get creative with it, make alterations to it, and eventually it will be the home that you envisioned in the first place. You just kind of got to take your time to do the work. Don't rush the work. Don't rush the work, and make sure you get planning permission before you do any expansions. Make sure you're covered legally with what you're doing. Can I have a card for Sagittarius, please? Can I have a card for Sagittarius? Michelangelo, no compromise is a good compromise. So again, don't cut corners, don't, you know. Blemished origins do not negate flawless conclusions. And become ill with unhealthy perfectionism. Make sure that you are, as I said, open and honest, clear. Things don't have to be perfect. Again, that could be the pernickety Knight of Swords. Making sure you don't cut corners. There are thresholds within what's acceptable and tolerable. Just don't go too far with either side of that threshold. Don't get too focused on it has to be perfect. Features don't have to be perfect. You can honour something without it being flawless. There could be compromises that you make if you're going for planning permission and you put in exactly what it is you dream. Take a look at how you can get creative ways of getting around the planning permission legally, but make adaptations to fall in line with what they expect, what they require from you, and you may find a new, better idea within that. Blemished origins do not negate flawless conclusions. You'll end up, yeah, like I said, just because it's not exactly what you dreamed about in the beginning doesn't mean it's not exactly where you're supposed to be and what you're supposed to do. I'm going to do a self-care card. This is my life. I've been doing them for all the signs. You are my last sign, Sagittarius, because you often take the longest. So I kind of got everything else out of the way so I could focus on it, but it's been quite quick. So can I have a self-care card, oracle card for Sagittarius, please? Rest. If this is your new home, you're going to need rest because you're going to have to take on the house move if you haven't already. If you've moved, take a rest, take time, look after yourself. I would recommend that anyway. I'm getting this air of frustration a little bit, but if you rest and take the time and rejuvenate yourself, you're in a better mind space, and then you can focus on the good things, the happy things. Is there anything else for Sagittarius? It's really hard for a Sag to rest as well. Be still and intuition. So yeah, tap into your intuition if you don't already. I've never had these cards before. These cards come out in this deck before. Intuition I have, but not be still and rest. So yeah, just take time to rest, be calm, and tap into your intuition. You're kind of instinctive anyway, but there's a more subtlety to intuition, and it will guide you to where you're supposed to be. You'll know where to invest your coin, what job to apply for or take on, what house it is you're supposed to be in. You kind of know that already. So rest. You know it will happen when it's supposed to. You just kind of have to know it's going to happen when it's supposed to, not push it and push yourself. Don't push yourself too much either. If you go at it too energetically, too hard, you're not going to get the result you're looking for. So you kind of have to listen to your body as well, and listen to your gut when it says, right, focus here, put that there. So yeah, I hope that helps, Sagittarius. I'll be back again next week with another read. There you go, positive affirmations if you needed that. Thank you so much for watching. I should be back this week at some point with a monthly read, but we'll see. I'll see where we get to. If it's not this week, it'll be next week, but I'll be back next week with a weekly read anyway. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you again soon. Bye for now.